If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new to my world, my name is Hedy Shah. I'm a body worker and a mindfulness teacher, and I support humans to break free from the construct of today's society to create their unconditioned lives. So they can turn setbacks into strengths, experience greater level of vitality, creativity, and trust in their bodies. And I do that through the magics of mindfulness, functional strength training, and postural alignment. In today's video, I want to talk to you about how to identify your negative self-talk through your body. We live in a world that put our mind and mindset work on a pedestal, and oftentimes the body is that missing piece to full integration and feeling whole in ourselves. You can do all the mindset work, but if it's not integrated through the body, if your body is not on board with the new ways of thinking, you often feel this conflict that is going on within you. How can you identify that? Our body is in constant communication with us, trying to tell us how we feel, what the world feels. And if we had any negative association to any event that happened in the past, or we have traumas, or we have things that are going on, the body is trying to protect us from repeating those experiences, and oftentimes we get stuck in that pattern. And in order for us to be able to move on from that pattern, we need to be able to actually process what is coming up through the body. In other words, how can we create safety in the body as we're navigating that? For example, if you have a negative self-talk pattern, or you have this negative belief system that you're hyper aware of, that you're telling yourself all the time about. So instead of constantly getting wrapped up in the thinking mind and trying to overanalyze it and make sense of it, or maybe add new layers of a story to it, as you're thinking that thought, notice, what is it feeling in the body? What is it in the body? Where is it that you're feeling something in the body? For example, you might feel this sense of anxiety in the chest, or you might feel this feeling of tension in your solar plexus, or maybe you feel a lot of tension in your throat. For example, for me, I had a lot of issues with speaking up and owning my voice, and every time I thought about all of those things and tried to make sense of it and push through it and hoping that it's going to be normal, I will be comfortably speaking to you without any fears or any doubt or any questioning in the back of my head, especially around being misunderstood or not being informed enough and creating damage to the society. And those were the repeating thought. And I always felt like in order for me to speak up, I needed to be perfect. I needed to have everything figured out. Obviously, I'd done all the mindset work, but I never felt fully integrated. Every time I spoke up, even though I tried and I pushed myself, I didn't feel embodied. I needed to bulldoze through the emotions that was coming up. And the first time I actually fully felt the communication between my thought patterns and my throat and what was going on in my throat was in an EMDR session that was mainly around my voice and what happened to my voice and why I was so scared of expressing my opinions confidently without going home and overthinking it, right? And that was when I felt like, wow, I actually had a lot of stuff happening around my neck and around my throat, almost as if like something was like fully blocked and I couldn't let it be open. Obviously, you can go to EMDR or a lot of different somatic practices, but I think there is a way you can start practicing this now. And that is whatever thought pattern that you have, trying to link that to the body. So where is it? Am I feeling it in my body? How does it feel like? Is there heat associated with it? Is it this feeling of like someone is squeezing it as hard as possible? Is it this feeling of heart palpitation? Is it this feeling of exhaustion and extreme tiredness? What is that feeling? And when you notice that feeling, when you locate that feeling in the body, instead of trying to fix it or improve it, which is the natural tendency that we've learned over time that we need to fix ourselves, can you sit with that? Can you allow that to be in the room, and perhaps ask your body, what does your body wants you to know? What is it that your body is trying to communicate to you? And just fully listen and relax into it. And I know sometimes these feelings can be really difficult to sit with because the body needs to release itself. Like for me in particular, like when I'm processing those feelings, I start feeling a lot of shake moving through me, as if like I'm allowing and becoming a channel for the body to process whatever that needs to be processed. But for you, it might be this feeling of slight release, or maybe a sadness that is coming up, maybe a sound through the back of your voice coming out, like maybe you do a kind of thing. It can look very different for everybody. Maybe you remember a vision or you remember a memory, and you might just not feel any of that, but you just feel this peace is slowly washing over you. Like the process could look different for everybody. But I think it's really important that whatever thing that you're processing, whatever mindset work that you're doing, listening and honoring where you're feeling it in the body. And only through the integration of the body and the mind, we can move forward as a whole, because your mind might feel like it's ready to move on, but like your body is left behind. Your body is not understood. Your body hasn't been seen and acknowledged, and haven't been fully like processing what needed to be processed for the body to move forward. We know our body keeps the score. The trauma lives in the body. We can choose two things. It's like either bulldoze through our feelings, the feeling body, the stuff that is happening down here, and try to push through the mind, or can we take that time to fully integrate the two? And then when we're moving forward in life as a whole, it's a lot easier than when we are trying to force our way through life. And I'm not saying that this kind of work is easy. It requires a lot of awareness and trust in the language of your body, that knowing this through the understanding the body, that's when a full healing happens. And today I want to encourage you to, when you do the mindset work, when you're trying to maybe understand yourself better, first do it from that place of curiosity, from that place of love and reverence for yourself, rather than feeling that, oh, I need to be fixing myself. I need to be punishing myself into fixing myself. And also take a moment, soften, and really connect to the body. We can only, I find in my experience, when I'm in that state of anxiety or stress or worries, I'm very much up in my head. And it takes a moment of softening and trusting to return back to my body and feel it. And if you want to take this further, at the end of the day, we want to remind the body that we are not stuck in where we were. For example, I had a lot of negative association to working hard or putting my work out in the world, because the first couple of years of my business, and I was really working hard, I was in this beautiful creative flow. A car accident happened and I had concussion, and I didn't take the pause I needed because I felt like I didn't have that luxury to do that. I just started my business, I lost my job, and now I need to make this work. So I pushed through all the discomfort that my body was feeling at the time. And now I notice that every time that I get to a point that I have more projects and more life wants to be expressed through me, I get that anxiety building up in me, even though I'm making sure that I have good boundaries, I am taking care of myself, I have rest and all of that. But the anxiety is there. My body is trying to tell me, something is off, like I'm worried about you, like you're doing that to yourself again. So in that moment, I need to really soften and look at my body, feel what is going on in my body, connect to the part of me that feels anxious, that feels disconnected. And then I look around the room and see if I can create safety within myself. And when I notice the safety around myself, like maybe the room that I have, maybe the people that I love, that I know they're going to be taking care of myself, and then also my love for myself and how I am choosing to slow down and rest, and ways in which I take care of myself that I didn't take care of myself in the past. and allowing myself to feel into that. Maybe the long shower I'm taking, maybe when I'm chilling and just resting and looking out the window, maybe the long walk that I go, that I don't have any expectation of an outcome for that. And also reminding myself how I get to enjoy creating the things that brings me joy. And every time I'm tired, I get to rest. And letting that create safety in my system, and I check back in with the part of me that feels anxious, with the part of my body that had all those activation going on, and I check in and see whether or not that changed. How do I feel in that now? And then how would I be able to support myself and give myself the things that I need to feel fully safe in my body? Yes, I could do all the mindset work of, no, I'm strong, I can do this, and push through that, go through the mind and be like, no, I'm no longer like having concussion, I'm no longer this, I'm no longer that. But if I'm not actually allowing that to land in the body and be felt in the body, I'm just dragging my body along. So my body is not on board. But with this really simple exercise and that softening that happens in my system, and that feeling of checking in and asking my body what it needs, what does my body wants to be acknowledged in, seen in, or maybe I need to shake around, or I need to have a good cry, or something needs to be moved through me so I can release that. Hope this video and the examples I provided in this video is helpful for you. Please take care of the body. Notice your body's language when you are experiencing those anxious thoughts, or any form of, or even when you feel extreme fatigue, or you feel disconnected, demotivated, and all of that. Just really tap into what the body actually needs. Thank you for listening all the way to this point. If you enjoy my content, I have a free 5 lifestyle guide ebook down below that you can check. It's in-depth yet effective and simple to work through what you need to know about the basics of nutrition, movement, nervous system regulation, and so much more. And make sure to subscribe, comment down below about your experience and what you learned from this video, and I will see you in the next one.